Hello and welcome to AMA Puget Sound's Coffee Talk series live on Thursdays at 11 a.m. Pacific. Our guest today is Garland Coulson and aka Captain Time. And the first thing I want to do is apologize to you, Garland, as well as our audience for rescheduling this episode. That was on me. So I really appreciate everyone's patience and welcome, Garland. How are you today?
Thanks. Great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And we were just talking before we went live, and where are you right now?
Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
Excellent. So yeah, you're only one time zone away. We were just talking about how you've spoken at conferences at like 2 a.m. and shared a lot of information and then go to sleep.
Yeah, it's just a little easier. I don't need quite as much coffee.
Right, exactly. Wait, this is coffee talk. Anyway, so today we're actually going to be talking about content marketing, which I love content marketing. It's what I've been doing my entire career. So let's 101, what is content marketing? What's
so am I allowed to share screens here, or would you prefer just to talk for me to talk about it?
We've never done a share screen before.
Let's just stick with the format then.
Yeah, I mean, if you're able, go ahead. If you're able to, let's try something different. Let's get weird, man.
Okay. If you're okay with that.
You should have the ability to do that. So,
okay, let's have a look. And you can tell me if that's working.
I am going to add it to the stream. There we go. This is a first for our channel. I'm so excited. Yay!
So should I just dive in?
Go for it. Let's learn, man. Let's go.
Welcome. So introduction to content marketing is focused on what is content marketing. So it's really just creating online content to attract your audience. And this includes all types of content, videos, blog posts, articles, podcasts, online courses, how-tos. I once had to look up a YouTube video on how to clean a sockeye salmon because I didn't know how. That's an example of content that attracts people.
Yeah.
Slideshows, quizzes, live streams like this is content. And then micro content. Micro content are things like internet memes and social media posts and the like. So it's really just all that content that you can use to attract people to you.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so fun. It's especially from an advertising perspective. If you look back at ads from like the 50s where everything was a story in like one big full page ad, it was a story. And now we become, so conversed with brevity that we start talking about storytelling is so great and we should be doing it. It's like, yeah, that's what we used to be doing. And
yes, storytelling is from the dawn of time. I mean, it's the oldest marketing.
Right. And it's not a brand new concept. So I love this. This is so great. I love this mind map.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so content marketing, what are some of your favorite pieces?
I talked about some of the different ways here. I really love a video first approach, and I can show you why. I'll jump around a bit here. So I had kind of a prepared way to do this. We'll do it a different way. So let's see. Where's my example here? Taking me out of my planned way. So maybe I'll just go with.
Let's go with your way because you do have a certain flow to it, and I don't want to abrupt that.
Next thing I want to talk about is why is content marketing so powerful?
Mm-hmm.
And usually when we get on the internet, first thing we do is we search, right? We're looking for something. And we're searching for content. When you think about it, everybody on the internet is searching for content solutions. We're not going, I wonder what ads I'll see today. We're just not going there.
Right.
So when you create content, you're working with what people are looking for, and you're providing it.
Mm-hmm.
And that great content that you have, it provides value for people, not just advertising. It informs, entertains them, establishes you as an authority or an expert in your field, warms people up to eventual sales. So instead of just saying, buy something from me, I mean, it's kind of like if you hit somebody with buy from me the first time you come across them, it's kind of like asking someone to marry you instead of going for coffee first on your first date. You don't jump right to the sale. You want to warm people up a bit.
Exactly.
And content gives you something to talk about in social media, and we can even monetize it with YouTube ads, Google ads, sponsorships, patrons, and things like that.
Absolutely. So one piece I want to share with that is something that I did years ago when I worked for a restoration company in Green Bay, Wisconsin. It was a local owned company, and our customers were, well, not customers, but where we got our business was insurance agents. We were a restoration company, so fire, water, mold, damage to your home, you call your insurance company, see how much is covered, and then you call us. And so we couldn't advertise directly to the clients, so we had to be smart about it. And so I thought, well, with our email marketing, because our email newsletter was a monthly newsletter that only went to insurance agents, but I thought, well, what if we just use the insurance agents as a middle person, and they're actually sharing our content with their clients? So we restructured the monthly newsletter to talk to the clients.
Yes.
About safety facts, around the holidays, keep your candles away from, the tree and away from ribbons. And it was just all, safety facts, which you'd think would hurt business. But honestly, again, like you said, they saw us as an industry leader. So
helping.
Exactly. The insurance agents would just forward our emails, our newsletters to their clients. And we obviously boosted sales because we weren't looking to sell. We were looking to show you how to protect yourself. But if you have to call us, you call us.
Yeah, and you create value for the insurance agent, value they could then pass on to their clients.
And made them look
while
good.
doing that, you position yourself as an expert in these areas.
Exactly. And it made the insurance agents look good as well, because it looked like, oh, they're on the pulse of what's knowing, on how to help, make my home safe. It was brilliant. I'm brilliant, by the way. I'm kidding. But let's learn more about why content marketing is important, and then I know we're going to be talking about advertising as well.
Yeah. So I want to compare content marketing versus advertising, because a lot of people are thinking, oh, I have to advertise to get anywhere. Advertising is really expensive. You can spend thousands of dollars a week with almost no results. One of my clients, when I came in and looked at his advertising program, he paid $7,000 for ads on Google, and he got $700 in sales. So not worth doing at all. And it used to be in the early days of Google AdWords and Facebook advertising, you could do fairly well with them, but now it's incredibly difficult for small business people. I really only recommend advertising online for the most part for these big brands. And advertising just brings people once to your website, and to bring them back, you've got to keep advertising. So you got to keep spending that money all the time. And a lot of people use advertising blockers. Like, I never see ads. I use an ad blocker, right, in my browser. So I don't see your ads, so they're wasted. And content is largely free. I mean, there's some time you have to spend to create it, so that takes time. Or if you outsource it, of course, there's some time. But usually that cost is a lot less than thousands of dollars in advertising every week.
Right.
And what I love about content is it can be evergreen. Yes. So most content doesn't expire unless you're maybe creating an article about a political campaign or something. So one piece of content can bring traffic for years.
Yes.
I created a video and an article for a client 7 years ago. It's had 168,000 views total. Still, 7 years later, it's bringing him 900 views a month. Every month. And I did that years ago. So if he paid me whatever it might take to create a video and article, which isn't that much, it might be a few $100 or something. Think about how long that's working. 168,000 views and 900 views a month, 7 years later. So the evergreen aspect of content is perhaps its most powerful thing that it can do. And content has been proven to convert better than advertising, because we're ad aware. We automatically resist sales pitches. Walk onto a car lot, what happens? You just shrink back from a salesperson because you know they're going to sell you something. But if you love a brand or someone's content, you're more than willing to consider taking their courses, buying their book, buying their products, getting their t-shirts, because you love what they do.
Exactly. And with advertising, I feel as though it's more a campaign to get new customers. And I worked in retail for many years. I just some of the roles that I had, it was always, to get new customers. And I kept thinking, well, not even thinking, but hearing from, the loyal customers, like, well, what do I get? I've been a loyal customer. And that's the same thing with advertising, is you're trying to draw on new customers without, really having regard of the customers who've been loyal to you. And what is it? 80% of your business comes from 20% of your customers, which are the loyal customers. So it's that content creation that's for your loyal folks, right?
Yeah, that will keep them engaged. Another thing with content too is you have the potential for viral content where a piece might attract hundreds of thousands or even millions of views. Now, it doesn't happen that often, but it's a possibility if you happen to get one of those viral ones. But it's a really good point that you make about what about your existing customers, and content is the value you can provide for your existing customers.
Absolutely.
So a lot of people are going, what about other marketing methods? Well, Garland, should I put my money into search engine optimization or social media or content or email marketing? And the answer is yes. So first off, search engine optimization. If you have a 5-page website, you're never going to rank number one in search for almost anything. Like nobody's going to find you. So content is how you do the search engine optimization. So a site with lots of great SEO optimized content ranks higher. I like to use the example of a hardware store. Hardware store might sell barbecues and lawnmowers and cordless drills. Their homepage isn't going to rank number one for all those. There's no way. But they could have blog posts on how to use a cordless drill effectively, how to extend the life of your lawnmower, and that's what will bring people in. So each content piece or article has its own keyword attracting people. So you're not just getting people looking for hardware store, you're getting people looking for lawnmowers, looking for barbecues, looking for all those different things. So content is the key component of SEO. It's not instead of, it's part of search engine optimization.
Right. And you're also, like, with your example with the hardware store, you're also creating that segmentation as well. And learning more about your customers and what, why are they going to your store, and that helps from a sales and inventory perspective. So it all kind of snowballs from your content. It's amazing.
And speaking of segmentation, I love to use the example. Think of a ski hill. So they serve families, but they also serve the high-end extreme snowboarders who love to get air, right? So you would do different messaging for each one, and you can have you would do different content for each one, talking about the family safety, the lessons that you do, these kinds of things. And for the extreme snowboarders, you're just going to show the crazy people going off the cliffs, right? So,
exactly.
You got to talk their language.
Exactly.
So email. So a lot of people say email is dead, and email has never been more alive. Think about it. Email is the one place every business person goes every day to check. So it's not. It's a great place to go. So first off, you can use content to build that email list. You can create quizzes, surveys, scorecards, checklists, free guides, free training, case studies, and ebooks, all things people can download or get instant access to. And that builds your email list. So content isn't instead of email, content is how you build your list.
Exactly.
And content is the stuff you send to your subscribers. It'll give you something valuable to share. So instead of, okay, you sign up for my list and I can send you 3 sales pitches this week, unsubscribe button, right off. Instead, if I send you 3 great articles on something, and then say, oh, by the way, I'm doing an upcoming workshop, would you be interested? You're thinking more positive of me because, I've given you some great value. So the content informs, engages, and moves people along your sales funnel.
Exactly.
And social media. Other spot. Everybody say, oh, social media is the way to go. You want to go with social media. And content is great to share in social media. So this is the other thing. Content, again, with social media. Instead of me doing, here's on Twitter what I had for lunch today. Instead, I post a link to, here's my new video on Reddit marketing, or here's my new video on how to create a checklist. So it provides value, not just chat. I mean, short little social media things are kind of just chatter. So it's deeper information than you can get in a short tweet.
Yeah.
So how do you do all this?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Hopefully I've demonstrated the power, and now you're going, okay, this might be a good thing for me to consider. So, the key thing is to do the keyword research first. Notice I made that red because
yes,
I had a client who hired me to do content marketing, and the client got really excited about it and went off and did a video and sent it to me before I'd done the keyword research. I said, well, wait a minute, I might be able to use this for something, but if you let me do the keyword research, we'd have known what people were looking for in that topic. We'd have known the exact title that we could have used for that, the exact phrase we needed using the article. So that's the key thing. Search engine optimization is finding out the high traffic keywords that are low hanging fruit, easy to get, easy to get top ranking for, and then you design your content around that. So that's a key first step. Gotta do that. Number one.
Yep.
Now, I like to use my content the lazy way.
Tell us more.
I do. So what I do is I want my content to do multi-purpose, right?
Yeah.
So first off, I start off by creating a video. And it could be something, for example, this could be recorded, it could be a video, and it could be content, right? So I just record me talking for 5 or 10 minutes on a topic. So it could be just like a vlog, a video vlog or something. Or I could do a presentation like this with a mind map or PowerPoint. So first off, I create the video. Next, I take the audio off of the video. I copy it off the audio for a podcast. So I convert that easily during using a free tool called VLC, which is a free media player. And it's just a case of add the file and choose convert to. And now I've got both an MP4 video file and an MP3 audio file for my podcast. Then I transcribe that into an article. And then I SEO that article to attract people and post it on my blog. Alternatively, I've been switching it up a bit lately, and sometimes writing the article first, and then using that as a script to create the video.
Okay.
So you can do it either way. So I've shifted a bit because I've been working with some new tools that make that easier. So now I've got a video, podcast, and an article, SEO. If it was a slideshow, you can upload it to places like slideshare.net. Then you can share your content on social media and email that content to your list. So you've got a video, podcast, article, slideshow, social media posts, and email posts, all off of one piece of content. And to be honest, it sounds like a lot of work, but I can often do this in a couple of hours.
Okay. And then just out of curiosity, when you do content, where do you see the most pull, which medium?
YouTube, I really strongly recommend everybody be on YouTube. I mentioned the fish video where I had to learn how to clean a fish. Like that's an example. People go there for everything. I went there to fix my dryer to figure out how to do it. I mean, people go there for everything. So if you're comfortable doing video at all, I would suggest that you start with video being the biggest one. Video and email marketing are really big. Reddit's really good for me. Those are kind of the big. And the SEO, of course. Like those are all working together. But that's where my clients come from.
Gotcha. That's very cool. Thank you for
You might have heard the phrase content is king.
Yes.
And which is quite true. If content is king, though, consistency is queen.
Yes.
So it's important to create regular content, maybe a piece every week. If you do that, in 1 year, you'll have 52 pieces all attracting traffic. Year 2, 104 pieces, and so on. So then, remember, I showed you one piece was getting 900 visitors 7 years later. So this really adds up.
Yeah.
And the new content tends to, it gives you more keywords attracting traffic, so you've got people coming in all the time. Gives something people new to engage with. And many content feeds show the newer material first. So if you haven't done a video in 6 months, then your content's probably not being shown as often. I'd like to show an example of how easy it is to do YouTube.
Okay.
So I'm going to show you Leto's Law, which is on YouTube. I'm going to show this full screen here. So this is Steve Leto's YouTube account. Steve is a lawyer in the state of Michigan. He does lemon law, which is cars that don't work well, right? And so he's got 337,000 subscribers. And he posted this 2 hours later. He's got 10,000 views. This one was 22 hours, 35,000 views, 35,000 there, 45 here, 95,000 views, 96,000 views, 137,000 views. And look at his video quality. He's just putting the same title on everything, just the same font, and he's just showing a different title. And to show you how easy it is to do this, this is Steve Leto's YouTube background. So he's not using green screens. He's not using special effects. And he just puts on his t-shirt, a different t-shirt every day. He's just a really funny, chatty guy. He just feels like a buddy you'd have a beer with in the backyard, invite him for a barbecue. He puts some interesting stuff in the background, some law books, some cars, some podcast mics, a few signs, people sending stuff. So he's not really worried about it. And you could easily shoot something like this with your smartphone. It doesn't have to even be expensive equipment. So there's an example of how easy it is to get into YouTube. And don't worry about your first ones being a bit cringeworthy, because they get better. Your 10th one will be better than your first one. Your 100th one will be better than your 10th one.
Exactly. It's a skill that you're learning, and it takes so many hours to master a skill.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I do. We were talking before we went live, and I had mentioned AI and how that's starting to be integrated in content marketing. And I personally, I don't like it, and I'm curious, what are your thoughts on that? Let's dig into that.
I love AI.
Okay.
Okay.
I like AI. I should say that, but
Well, first off, AI is one of the reasons why your phone knows so much better what you're speaking to it. So that's one of the things. I use a tool called Copy AI. I'm not sure if you've heard of that one.
Mm-hmm. Briefly, yeah.
Briefly, okay. So essentially, what it does is I can take a little bit of text.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do a test in here for you. I'm just going to grab a quick tool that I know how to use quite well, the freestyle tool. What are you looking for? I want a blog post. And I want it about why online communities are good for marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And I hit create content and let it churn from on. Now, I would normally do more than this. I usually write a full paragraph at a time to do this. And over in this pane, I can assemble the article. So what I do is I write in here the normal way I write. And I've written for years. I've written like tons of articles, ebooks. I've got a published book. So I'm already a writer. It's not like I can't write. But what I find is it brainstorms different ideas for me. So it's my writing partner. It doesn't take over the writing.
Okay.
So this plus the ideas. So what I'll do is if I really like how this particular part is done, I might copy that, and then maybe this part down here had a really good set of bullet points, and then I can go like that. Now I take a lot more care of this. I would normally assemble this with much more, and I write it in portions. But and I can format over here the usual headings, bullet points, and things like that. So it's my writing partner. To me, I can write my articles in half the time, and they're better quality because it brainstorms ideas I may not have thought of, or ideas or approaches or turns of phrases. My writing has gotten better with this. Now the writing I'm putting in here is actually working better. So yeah, I like it overall, but I get what you're saying. Some people might say, "Oh, I'll just use the AI to write my stuff, so I don't need to hire a copywriter, for example." But
that's what I'm afraid of.
What's that?
That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. I went to speaking to someone, and there was a web designer in the room, and I mentioned WordPress was a great tool for people to be able to update their own websites. And this web designer was terrified of WordPress because he thought nobody would need him. And I do web design for people, and I use WordPress all the time. My clients don't want to do their own, like even when they could edit an article or a page themselves, they send it to me. And in one case, I had a client sending me articles post. I said, I could teach your receptionist to do this in probably 20 minutes. You could do this in-house. No, we're too busy. You guys do it. So if you do things properly and market properly, you don't need to worry about AI taking away most of your jobs.
Okay, I'm glad. Thank you for sharing that, because I'm starting to see some fear in some content marketers and copywriters' faces. So thank you for explaining that it's more of a second brain, or just an extension of your brain. rather than
Also, too, I've learned a lot about writing for SEO, and I have tools that help me
yeah.
fix. Like I also run this through my SEO tool to get that better.
Okay.
So that's far better than any AI is currently able to do. The AI couldn't write this whole thing as good as I can assemble it here, and then do the SEO for the content and to be able to get that kind of traffic. So that's something that AI can't do now. Maybe in future, maybe we'll all be talking to HAL 9000 or Robbie the Robot or Skynet or something. Hopefully not Skynet.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, because and especially one thing I do also want to ask you about is the rate of content marketing being released, because we've been hearing for years, create content, create content, create content. And I mean, are we going to run out? I mean, is there a possibility of running out of content because so many people are covering a lot of the same topics over and over?
But I subscribe to some competitors or people who I like in the industry is more what I like to say rather than competitors. So we all have different approaches to it. And sometimes I read that and I go, no, I don't think that. I'm contrary to that. So then I deliberately go out and write the contrary article. You're never going to run out. And I'll show you something I probably shouldn't. This is my inbox for all of my content here.
Wow.
So these are the ideas. I've got 194 just ideas tossed into this list of different things. Top time songs. What is micro content? Why is it useful? Power of upsell. Your mental back burner. How to use calculators in marketing. Like every time I come across something, I think, oh, that would be an article. I dump it in here, and then I just pull up the ones that I think I feel like writing today. So am I going to run out? Never. It's kind of like a comedian was once asked, where do you get all these ideas from? He said, look around you. The world's funny. Like everywhere they would go, they would see something unusual. But you have to get that view of looking at it. Everything you read it with a critical thing and think, well, how would I spin that? How would I? What's my take on that? What do I like about that, and what do I disagree with? And suddenly you've got the base, the base of a great article.
Sure, absolutely. But is there a possibility of like oversaturation at any point where it's going to be harder and harder to be found?
Well, this is part of your branding too, right? So why do people come to me? Okay, so what's unique about me? Well, I'm Captain Time. So I wear the weird hat. I'm the weird hat guy, right? So part of that is people follow me because they're interested in what I do. So there's tons of other time management speakers, and I wouldn't even claim that I'm the best one or the most popular one. I'm not, but I make my full-time living online and have for over 20 years doing what I do. So there's room for people. Like we always say, oh wow, this person does this so good. There's no room for me. Well, you're unique. You have a unique story. You have a unique take on it. Mm-hmm. So it makes more sense to approach what can I do? How am I going to be different?
Yeah, and finding, because there are gaps in content, that we don't have yet, and it's just we need that person to just think of it and like, oh, I'm going to write about this, or I'm going to present content on this.
And part of that's the keyword research, which helps you find gaps. Another thing is just being creative. For example, I once wrote an article saying why the Borg need a copywriter. The Borg from Star Trek? Because resistance is futile, doesn't really make people want to give up, does it? You will be assimilated? No. But instead, you could say something like, raise your IQ to 10 million. Or join us and travel the universe, right? Join us and never be lonely again. I mean, there's lots of great ways the board could change those taglines, right?
Exactly.
So I wrote a whole article on that. And it's fun. Take a fun approach to this. And when people come to me wanting to have no portfolio, but they want to write for me, I say, well, get a portfolio, write something, write something about Sasquatches, write something about weird things. Just pick something really off the wall and have fun with it. And that's creativity.
Everybody has a hobby, and you could write about that. So that's something to start. As we're starting to wrap up, like, is there anything that we didn't get to cover that you'd like the audience to know, or is there anything that you'd like to reiterate?
No, I think in the copywriting there, if anybody wants to connect with me, captaintime.com, you can go there. I do time management training, digital marketing training and coaching, and I have a virtual assistant agency and training as well. So I work in all those areas. So be happy to chat with anybody. I will mention that content marketing is probably my biggest marketing method. I love it, and it really does position me as an expert in my field. If people watch a few of my videos, they go, yeah, this is the guy who speaks at our conference, or this is the guy who do training for our organization.
Absolutely. And we have all of your information in the description below, so people can just quick click and make that easy as well. And QR codes. Oh gosh, remember a few years ago, 10 years ago when, QR codes are never going to last. And here we are.
Why they're becoming popular is digital signage.
What's that?
Digital signage is starting to make them really popular because it's really easy to add one. So for one example is I'll see someone mentioning a contest on a poster. You use the QR code to go to their social media or join the contest.
Yeah.
So it connects people live in real time right when they're there, or a QR code can tell you more information, specifications of an electronics product, or where the clothing is made, so you know that it's not made by slave labor somewhere.
Right.
So
Exactly.
lots of uses for QR codes.
Absolutely. And I love it, as opposed to, type in our website in your browser on your phone. And it makes it easier, especially during the pandemic. We saw restaurants using that, and that just,
pretty well every smartphone automatically with their camera takes you to a QR code. It takes you to the website of a QR code. So it's a brilliant way to just make it seamless without typing.
I'm glad they stayed strong and we're still using them. Perfect. Well, Garland, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate you stopping by. And yeah, if there's anything you'd like to talk to him about, like I said, information is down below. If you liked today's episode, please like and subscribe. It's Thursday. We're in a new month. We're in September, going into a holiday weekend, at least here in the States. So everyone, I hope you have a great weekend. Okay, as well in Canada. So everyone, be safe this weekend. If it's hot where you are, drink water. And again, Garland, thank you so much today. I really
Thanks for having me, and bye everybody.
Have a great day. Bye.